Hello my dear friends and welcome to StudyIQ. I'm Joy and today in this lecture we will discuss about middle income trap and we will especially look from India's perspective whether India is in a middle income trap. So we would be discussing about World Bank's definition about middle income trap. We will see what is the basis for calculating whether a country is under middle income trap. We will also see economic survey findings about the same and we will analyze whether India is under a middle income trap, what are the factors impacting and what are the structural reforms required. So we will discuss all these topics in detail in this lecture. So let us begin, but before that, this is our channel StudyIQ and we are providing pen drive courses for various competitive examinations including UPSC Civil Services Examination. If you are preparing for Civil Service Examination 2020, you can avail our pen drive courses which will cover 100% of your vast UPSC syllabus, and we also provide daily current affair updates. You can find more details about the same on the link which is pasted on the description of this video, or you can visit our website www.studyiq.com for more details. So let us start. Let us first understand what is middle income trap. So World Bank has given a definition for middle income trap. So according to World Bank, it is measured in terms of per capita income. So per capita income refers to GDP divided by population. So GDP is the monetary value of all the goods and services produced in an economy within a financial year. So GDP of an economy will give enough data regarding economic growth of an economy. So economic growth is measured in terms of GDP, and when GDP is divided by the total population in the economy, it will give you per capita income. So these formulas are very important in the sense that they give you conceptual clarity regarding these terms. So World Bank defines middle income trap in terms of per capita income. So according to World Bank, the range of per capita between $996 and $12,055 makes middle income trap. And World Bank has divided middle income trap into two. One is lower middle income trap and second one is upper middle income trap. So under the lower middle income trap, the per capita income would be between 996 to 3,895 US dollars in an economy. Now, upper middle income trap means that there would be a per capita income for an economy between $3,895 to $12,055 US dollars. So this is the definition given by World Bank. Now if we analyze India's per capita income is almost $2,000. Now if we take into account the World Bank definition on middle income trap, we see that India falls under low middle income trap economy. So India is still a lower middle income economy according to World Bank definition of middle income trap. So in order to attain a higher middle income trap, India needs to move ahead to 3,895. This will make India an upper middle income country. Now, if India has to move out of the complete middle income trap and attain the status of a higher income economy, then it has a very long way to go because the per capita income should be $12,055 US dollars. So this is the status of India with regard to World Bank's definition of middle income trap, and this is World Bank's definition of middle income trap. Now let us understand on what basis is middle income trap calculated or defined. So this is based on official exchange rates. So official exchange rate means the exchange rate or the market exchange rate for one currency to that of other currency. So this will give nominal per capita GDP. So this is based on market exchange rates. So basically, a country's per capita income is in local currency. For example, in India, the per capita income is in terms of Indian rupee. But for cross-country comparison, what we do is that we convert the local currency, that is Indian rupee, through a common currency, that is American dollars or US dollars. So if we use PPP or purchasing power parity exchange rates, then the per capita income of India would be around $7,000. So if $7,000 is the per capita income of India, this will give potentially enough space for India to move from lower middle income country to upper middle income country. So economists around the world suggest that this should be the ideal basis for calculating the per capita income. So instead of market exchange rates, the PPP model or the purchasing power parity exchange rates should be adopted, and this is the suggestion of the economists around the world. So we will analyze what is PPP. We will also see what difference it will make. So for more clarity, I will explain PPP with some examples. So let us first understand what is PPP. First of all, do not confuse PPP or purchasing power parity with that of public-private partnership. This is entirely different concept. So PPP or purchasing power parity is regarding exchange rate based on prices of goods and services. So let us come to PPP or purchasing power parity. Most of the international comparison on economic indicators like GDP, per capita income, national income, etc. are expressed in terms of official exchange rate, which is also called market exchange rate. So it is calculated on the basis of market exchange rate, and in case of middle income trap also we have seen it is based on official exchange rates or market exchange rates. But PPP uses purchasing power of currencies in respective countries to accurately measure the economic indicators. So instead of market exchange rates, purchasing power parity uses the purchasing power of currencies. The purchasing power of currencies means that how much quantity of goods and services can be purchased with some amount of a currency. This is purchasing power of a currency. So purchasing power is used instead of market exchange rate. Now what is meant by purchasing power parity? So this is defined as the number of units of a country's currency required to buy the same amount of goods and services in domestic market as $1 would buy in the US. So simply put, $1 in US can purchase some X quantity of a commodity. Now purchasing power parity means that how much Indian rupee is required to purchase the same X quantity of commodities. So this is purchasing power parity. So here two currencies are compared on the basis of the quantity of commodities that can be purchased using the same currency. So $1 in US can purchase X amount or X quantity of goods and services in US. Now in India, how much rupee is required to purchase the same X quantity of goods and services? This is purchasing power parity. Now let us take an example in order to make you understand this concept of purchasing power parity. So let us assume that the exchange rate, that is the market exchange rate in India for US dollars is rupee 60. That means you can purchase $1 in India using rupee 60. Now let us assume that $1 in US can purchase 1 liter of milk in US. So in US you can buy 1 liter of milk using $1. Now let us assume that in India 1 liter of milk cost you 20 rupees. Now with this 60 rupees, that is $1 in India according to exchange rate is 60 rupees. So using 60 rupees you can ideally purchase 3 liters of milk in India. So if we compare both this is purchasing power parity. Now suppose India's GDP is rupees 600. This is just an example. I am just simplifying the numbers in order to make you understand the concept. So suppose and assume that India's GDP is rupees 600. So market exchange rate would be $10. This is because $1 equal to 60 rupees. So if you divide 600 by 60, this will give you 10. So in dollar terms, the GDP of India is only $10. Now let us come to purchasing power parity. Suppose we have seen the example of milk. Suppose milk is the only commodity produced in the world. So this is just an assumption to make you understand the concept. Suppose milk is the only commodity produced in the world. I am not talking about India, I am talking about the world. So in that case, exchange rate will enable you to purchase 10 liters of milk. But you can actually purchase 30 liters of milk if we take into consideration PPP or purchasing power parity. So I hope this idea of purchasing power parity is clear for you. This is a very, very important concept. In the last prelims examination, UPSC prelims also PPP question was asked. So this concept should be very, very clear to you. So UPSC always wants to test whether a candidate has conceptual clarity rather than by hurting the facts. So it is very important that you should understand the concept and you should be able to apply the concepts when you give your answers. So I hope this concept of PPP is very much clear to you with this example. Now moving on. Let us analyze what does the Economic Survey of India last year had to tell about the middle income trap. So Economic Survey puts twofold reasons for middle income trap. So first reason is that as the countries attain a middle income status, that is from lower income to middle income. So when a country moves out of lower income status to that of a middle income status, these countries would be squeezed out of manufacturing sector. So manufacturing sector would become less relevant for these countries. So this is the first reason cited, and these manufacturing sector and other dynamic sectors will be undertaken by poorer low cost competitors. Now the second reason is these middle income countries would also lack the institutional capital, human capital and technological capital to carve out niches higher up the value added chain. So these are the two reasons cited by Economic Survey. Now let us come to India's middle income trap. So can you say that India is a middle income trap country? You cannot clearly say that. This is because first of all, the middle income trap cannot be defined without referring to a time frame. So that is the first reason. Now, second reason, we have seen that the basis for measuring a country's income or per capita income to calculate whether the country is in a middle income trap is based on market exchange rates. But we have seen how effective is market exchange rates. PPP or purchasing power parity is more effective than market exchange rates. So this is the second reason. The third reason is that the middle income trap is sometimes defined with respect to per capita income as a share of United States PCI or per capita income. So this is a relative notion. So considering all these factors, we cannot really estimate whether India is under middle income trap, essentially because there are no standard norms to prove that a country is under middle income trap. Now moving on, let us understand what is the way ahead. So even though we cannot clearly say that India is under or not under the middle income trap, it doesn't mean that Indian economy doesn't have any issues. There are many structural issues in Indian economy, and these structural issues needs to be resolved using structural reforms. So now the need is to undertake structural reforms for Indian economy. You can find the PDF of this lecture on my Facebook page. You can follow my Facebook page for more video updates. You can also write to me at joycey.studyiq@gmail.com for any of your queries and clarifications. Thank you.